Hello friends, it's time to get back online, it's time to get back here on YouTube, it's time to be filming, it's time to get back to work, it's time to just leave vacation time behind me and get busy. I actually have been busy for this whole week, but I have also enjoyed some time at a local musical festival that we have close by where I live. That's a huge festival. It's been so much fun. Shawn Mendes is actually playing tonight. That's how big it is. Anyway, I was in a bit of a slump today. I was supposed to be doing you can see the mess in my kitchen. I had to turn around. So you all think I'm such an organized person. This looks a little better. Okay. I was in my office working on knitting patterns that I have to get printed for the upcoming knitting festival event. And I really needed to just snap out and get ready to do a regular episode of the Camerton podcast. But because it's been so long, I have had vacation and we've been so busy doing so many wonderful things. But I really needed to get a new episode out. And I just couldn't, filming an episode for you guys is always a lot of fun, but it's also prepping. So I need to find all the stuff that I want to talk about. And I just didn't feel like finding all that stuff and putting on the makeup and making sure the light was perfect and all those things. But I thought, okay, so we'll just push play on the camera and we'll just do this freestyle and see where it brings us. And yet that's not completely true. I will take it with me to the dye studio now because I need to wash some of the yarns that I dyed yesterday. And also I want to talk to you a little bit some of the yarns that I have been dyeing, and also the sock set of August is ready for pre-order, and actually it's just ready to ship. I did dye them already. So I thought I'll talk to you a little bit about that. I have a granny stripe blanket behind me that is done. I want to talk to you about that too. So I thought let's just go to the studio, get things done, find the yarn that I want to show and talk about, and then we'll return to my office and we'll do the rest of the episode like a regular podcast episode. I just really needed to push play to get myself out and up of the chair. You know that feeling when you're supposed to clean your house or get ready for something and you're just enjoying your quiet time and it's hard to get started. And I really felt like that today. So I thought if I just push play, I know that you guys will help me feel ready. And that's just sometimes how it feels to work. And I know that you guys like to be with me behind the scenes, and this is authentic behind the scene material of me not having the mojo to do anything remotely work related today. But let's jump in the car and let's get going. You can tell Nina is preparing all the printed knitting patterns for this upcoming event. It's a mess back here. All the yarn I have dyed is drying. All the Messiah yarn that I'm bringing next weekend. And I just need to wash these pants right here, and then we will collect the yarn that we're going to talk about later in the episode, and then I'm heading home. So hopefully this won't be long. Hello friends, welcome back to another episode of the Camerton podcast. I have no idea what episode this is because I just pushed play and I forgot to do my research. But welcome anyway. Vacation is over for me and I am back at it. It's been a long time since I have been podcasting. It was not intentionally, but once vacation started, I just couldn't get out of vacation mode. So I actually intended to do this episode last week, but we have just been so busy since we came home from our trip that, I just never got around to it. So anyway, welcome to the channel. It is today, Saturday, August 9th, I think. It's really hard to get back into gear, I think. I think this summer I really prioritized to be in vacation mode for the entire vacation and not even be on Instagram that much. And I didn't even vlog from our summer trip, which I usually do. I could just tell that I really, really needed time off. Yes, so I just decided that that's okay. Yarn is not that important. It almost is as important as water and food. But I decided it's just, I have to decide that I can take off work and not be available for 2 weeks. And I think that's just very healthy that we make these choices. Anyway, let's talk private stuff and vacation and whatever has been going on here around the house and the company, and dig right into knitting and yarn. It is no secret that I did not spend my summer knitting that much. I think I will. So when I pack for vacation, I bring way too much stuff. I did finish a pair of socks in my new Mille Bille colorway in the cashmerino sock base, which is just gorgeous and plump and lovely. And I gifted those socks to Esther's friend, Mille Bille. She was the co-designer on the color. And I think I talked about that in the last episode. And yeah, they turned out just very soft and pink, and I didn't even bring the color, but it's online and you can find it. It's called Mille Bille, and I will link it down below. That was the only thing I actually did finish knit-wise. I brought that when we traveled this summer. We have spent a week in the southern part of France and then a week in Mallorca, which is a tiny island, or not that tiny, but it's an island outside of the coast of Spain. We have had the most incredible summer vacation, and it has been warm and lovely. And even though I had a lot of time to knit, I really didn't knit that much. I would knit in the morning. That's my favorite time of the day, the quiet mornings with my coffee, and I would sit outside and knit. But then not too long after I woke up and spend a few minutes knitting, Lars would get up as well, and we would usually just go to the bakery and pick up some bread for everyone, and then eventually maybe have a little coffee at the bakery or whatever we did. So I didn't really spend that much time knitting, but that's fine. I can show you what I have been working on, except from the socks that I have not here to show you. That's the only picture I actually shared on Instagram, was the picture of the sock knitting process. I am working on, and this is not even new, guys. I am working on my Tearose sweater, and I did a little bit of progress on that, not a whole lot. I had actually, I actually thought that this sweater would be done by now, but it's just not. It's an adorable knit. I think having these stripes here and there just makes the process that much more interesting. I am in love with the colors that I chose for this, and the combination of the single ply merino, which is my single 366 base, and the Suri alpaca, which is just the softest substitute for silk mohair, and I love that combo. It's not the first time I do this combination. I did the same combination of yarn when I did the, I forgot the name of the sweater, the blue one I did with the base was gray, warm gray with blue contrasting color, antique flora, something like that. I will link that down below as well. That's the same color of yarn combination, and I think it's just very, very nice and soft. And I'm thinking, because I think for my size I will be using almost all of the 3 mini skeins. So I'm thinking maybe in the bigger sizes you just add another stripe, another color, or I think that's going to be my take on the sizing. So you don't have to buy too much yarn. Yeah, and the inspiration for this is actually a sweater. I don't have it here. A sweater that my aunt knitted for her husband when they were younger, and that sweater has been here with me for a long time, and that has the kind of the same design and the same types of stripes. So that is actually what I'm just working on right now. So when I sit in the couch at night, this is my go-to project these days. I usually always have like a number one project and then some other projects that I'll just work on when I need to do something else. The only finished object that I have besides the socks is a project that I have been working on for more than 4 years. I started this granny striped blanket in April of 2001. I just checked. And I have now finished it. I have decided that it is done. I think it's long enough, and if I think it needs another row, I can always pick it back up. But I think this is the most beautiful blanket of all the blankets I ever made. I think this is my favorite. It is made of scrappy yarns. Whatever I had left, I put in a big basket. It's all fingering weight yarn. And what I did to make all the colors blend, even though they did not match beforehand, was that I had added a strand of silk mohair in like a beige colorway. And the one I have used is the one from, it's a Tilia from Filcolana, so it's not even my own, it doesn't matter. And that warm grayish tone, actually I have one right here, hold on. So it is this colorway that I have used. So it's 336, and I don't remember what they call it. I think it's like a beige, warm gray anyway. And I have used that color mohair throughout my work so that it kind of makes the colors a little dusty, or they just make them all match. I think this is my starting end. Not that it really matters. Yeah. I started and ended on the same color, which is just my way of going full circle, I guess. Anyway, if I stand up, it is longer than I am. No, almost. But at least if I'm in the couch cuddling, it will be so that if I do like this, it still covers my feet. And I think I might do not a blocking, but I think I might just wash this or soak it at least just in my sink. I'm not gonna put this in the machine, just the thought of it filtering. But I think I will actually just give it a little soak because it has been in my basket for so long, and some of these scraps are very old, and just to have it fresh and lovely and nice. And then when I lay it down to dry, I will not stretch it too much. I know it will grow. It always grows a little bit when you soak these knitted or crocheted things. So I think what I will do is I'll just put it out on my floor in my bedroom. I have a pretty big bedroom, so I have a lot of room there. I can really kind of measure, so I know that it has the measurements that I want, and I will not stretch it too much. But sometimes that wash will give the finished object kind of a little bit more life, and it'll feel more fresh, and the yarn will kind of settle in a little bit more, if that makes sense. But I am crazy in love with this blanket. I think it is just stunning. It has been so much fun to work on. I have only had one rule. If you follow the podcast, you know that I make rules for these blankets so fast. The only rule with this is that I will not stop during a row. I will finish an entire stripe, and then I will cut the yarn and do these, are they called Russian knots? I forgot what they're called, but anyway, I tie these double strong knots, and I just cut off the ends. I don't weave in any ends. And it's all hand dyed. 99% of it is hand dyed sock yarn, and some of it is mine, but not the main. The main yarn is not my own yarn. It's a mix of all the yarns from throughout the years that I have from whatever, advents and stuff like that. All a mix. And it's funny because when I look at all the stripes, I can still, with the majority of the colors, tell you, maybe not the color of the yarn, but the dyer of the yarn. So we have a lot of a homespun house and some Chelsea yarn and some of my own yarn and just scraps of Birk and Bell from back in the days. And yeah, it's fun. It's so much fun. And I did take some pictures, but it's really actually really hard to just kind of get the vibe of the blanket. So I did take some pictures, but I think I'll take some more before I share that on Instagram. And then before I finished that, I have had such a hard time deciding what to do with my Advent from last year, my Hans Christian Andersen Advent. And first I started the anthology throw, which is like a circular blanket that I have tried to do 2 times. My first attempt was with Fru Valborg's Advent, and the colors and the yarn was just not the perfect match for that. And the same with my own yarn. From last year, I chose the silk merino base, and it was just too soft in a way, and it just didn't pop up or puff out, or it didn't take the place that I wanted for the blanket. So I really didn't like the result of it. So I wiped it up. No, I didn't wipe it up. I ripped it out. And then Lene from my knit group, she was doing a blanket in my Hans Christian Andersen yarn, along with like a grayish mohair. No, not mohair. No, not mohair. Like a grayish yarn. I don't even know if it was a merino or a little bit scratchier yarn, but her result was just very. I really liked it because that gray yarn that she had go throughout the work, and it kind of got this little more of a masculine touch, and I really liked it. So I started one as well with an undyed Suri alpaca that I have shared here, and it just didn't give the same result. I wasn't happy with it. I was bored knitting back and forth, and I really didn't know what to do. Then, because I really wanted to do something crochet, and I have for some time been I really wanted to do like a granny square blanket, making these types of squares. I don't know if they have another name. I think people just call these granny squares. But then again, there's also another kind of granny square where you have like 3 and then a break and then 3, right? Oh, educate me. If this has another name besides granny square, let me know. But this is the perfect project because it's a pretty quick thing to crochet one of these squares, and it I have matched gauge and yardage in a way so that this is the perfect size, because you use your entire mini and you have like a few yards or a few meters left, so it's actually perfect. And I will do a pattern at some point. Until then, you can just see if you can do the same thing. I'm doing this with 1 strand of undyed silk mohair, so not the Suri, because I thought the Suri was it just felt like it took more space than I wanted. It was a little bit more dominating than the silk mohair, so I chose the silk mohair. And this is the Nightingale, and this is, I think, the Little Mermaid, and the rose, and is it called the snail or the rose bush, or the snail and the rose? I don't remember anymore. But I finished 3 of these squares in my Advent, and I am working on a 3rd one. This feels a little tight. I'm working on a 3.5. Maybe that's a little too small, actually. No, Anyway, I started it, I will finish it. This is the queen, what is it called in English? The ice queen. I've even forgot what it's called in Danish. I'm not doing a really good job here, am I? Anyway, there's something about the crochet that's good for my brain when I'm too stressed or busy doing other stuff. Because when I crochet these, I have not alpaca, but more hair all over. When I crochet these squares, it's just silence in my mind. So, and they also, it feels like I'm not working when I'm doing these squares. I've talked about that before. So when I'm knitting on a new design, it feels like work. Even though it's knitting and I love it, it feels like work. And this doesn't feel like work. This feels like a beautiful waste of time, especially because I have just since I finished that other crochet blanket, and I have two right back here in my chair. This is my corner to corner. This is my corner to corner blanket that I crocheted using only single ply merino, and I think this is actually one of my favorite ones. The only rule with this was single ply merino. That was the only rule. I could start and stop with the color change wherever I wanted. So in the beginning, I thought I would only have like rosy grayish colors, but then at some point something minty snuck in to the project, and that was that rule out the door. But I stuck to the rule with the single ply mohair, and not single ply mohair, the single ply merino. And I'm glad I did that because it gives it that plumpness that I really love. So that turns out really good. And this blanket is my Anna's Advent blanket from the Advent before last year, which is also a single ply merino. Also a corner to corner, but striped corner to corner. You can get this pattern online. It's called Anna's Advent blanket, and it's a bliss to knit. I really enjoyed working on this blanket. So now I have 3, and I also have a knitted version in the couch, my Falbe Hansen blanket, which is a huge blanket as well. And my auntie gifted me the one with the tiny squares that she did, the Cozy Memories blanket she did with all my minis. And so now I'm working on a new blanket that I really don't need. So I'm hoping my girls would want to bring one when they move out of the house. Before I know it, Nomi will be moving out. She has just been accepted to the university here and will start to study at the uni here in September. So that's very exciting. Anyway, guys, this is all I'm working on because it's been vacation time. Do I have anything remotely interesting in any of my other bags? I don't think so. No, I have the remaining of the Millibili color, so you can see right here. It the way I dyed this yarn, just when you knit the socks, gives it like tiny stripes in the same hue. So it turned out really cute. Oh, there's one more here. This is the match little girl with the matches. Match girl. I don't know what it's called in English. So I actually had one more. So I'm working on number 5. So I only have 19 to go. I'll be done before you know it. And then I have no clue, the size of the blanket will not be as big. So I think that every now and then I will crochet a white one. And I also have that main skein, which will be like 5 additional minis. No, 5 additional squares for the blanket. So I don't know. Maybe it will just stay with the 24 minis from the Advent, and then maybe it'll be a baby blanket because I'm hoping at some point in life I will be a grandmother. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? No pressure. Good. So let's talk sock club. The one from last month of July was the like this big shell. It's called a conch. I don't know how you pronounce that. CONCH. This is the July set. I forgot to post that on Instagram when the pre-order was ready because my mind went to vacation mode. So I never actually did any advertising for this, which is really bad. But it is available and it looks like this. So if you didn't get the July one, it is in the shop and it's right here. And I just close your eyes if you don't want to see the sock set for August, because I just shipped those out yesterday. So close your eyes if you don't want to see the sock set for August. It is the shrimp colorway. And I will show it now and I will let you know when I removed it again. So this is what it looks like. Close your eyes. It looks like this. So these are the minis, as you can tell. And I'm not going to reveal, I'm not going to say too much about the colors because if you have your eyes closed, you don't want to know. But this is what it looks like. It's definitely one of my favorite ones. The shrimp and the oyster so far is the one I love the most. And the urchin that had the kind of purple and orange. Those three, I think, so far, my favorites. And then next year, I will not be doing any sock set Yarnclubs. I have thought of something else that I will do instead. I'll still do Yarnclubs, but it will not be sock sets like this. It'll be something completely different. We need to change things up. I get so bored if I do the same thing all over. And my idea was to do sky, sea, and earth. And we did birds, mushrooms, and sea creatures. I also still have Advents available. I am dyeing those like crazy. I think I have watched the movie Little Women during this period of time 3 times. And deciding on the last colors, and the process is so much fun. It's hilarious. I love the yarn that I chose for this Advent. And I might do it differently next year. I might add another base, but it was just such a rough time having so many bases last year that I thought, let's just do it the easy way out. But they're still available and they are turning out really good. So don't hesitate if you want one. I know once we start Vlogmas, people will always say, I'm so sad I didn't get one in time. And they sold out last year they sold out. And they have sold out every year actually. And this year I still have some left because I'm dyeing more than usual. So anyway, I want to share this with you. Again, I think I have talked about this before. This is a scarf shawl that my friend Melina crocheted for me. And I said, can you turn this into a pattern? Did you steal it from someone? And she's like, no, I came up with this myself. Or, you know, it's like Granny Square, so it's not a new invention or anything. But she came up with this pattern for this shawl. And I have had this with me to knitting festivals, and a lot of people actually have said, I love this. Do you have a pattern? And I'm like, no. I do have a pattern now, not ready for downloading or anything like that, but very close to being ready to, if anyone wants to test crochet this for me. It's new for me to do like a crochet pattern. I only do knitting patterns. But I thought that this was so beautiful that we want to have this out in the world. And it is, this particular one is knit in one strand of my Silky Lace, which is a 600 meters single ply silk and merino. And I think it's 70-30. Yeah, so 70% merino, 30% silk. And one strand of my Suri alpaca in the colorway Sand Viper. So this is the combination for this. And I think it's 2 skeins of the silky lace, and maybe 3 skeins of this. I'm not totally sure. I don't have all the details yet. If you test crochet, for me, I always give a very good discount on the yarn, like a 40% or something, so that I don't make money, but I don't lose money either. And you get a really good deal if you want to crochet it for yourself anyway. So let me know if you want to test crochet this shawl. Email only, so write me an email if you are interested. No DMing on Instagram, and not just the message down here in the notes, it'll disappear. So communication is always best on email. Good. I think one of the final things we have to talk about is mainly for you guys in the United States of America. If you pay any attention to what's going on with the government and the whole issue with tolls and tariffs on goods coming from Europe, all over the world actually, but for me, concerning about just trying to educate myself on what's going on with tolls and tariffs with my type of goods and what it means for my American customers. So what I have figured out, or what I think is going on, or what I think will happen, is that usually before it was like if you order something below $800, you don't get charged anything, any tolls or tariffs or whatever. But that will change. And I think what the recent thing I have heard and read is that it is a 10 to 16% extra that you will have to pay in tariff. So if you buy yarn for $100, you will have to pay $15 in toll. And that is, of course, I can feel already now that I'm losing customers in the United States because you are afraid what happens if you buy something in Europe. And I do not blame you. We are used to it because in Denmark, we pay toll or tariffs, I don't know what you call it, all the time. So if I buy something from the States, I will usually have to pay 20 or 25% extra, or Japan, or wherever I get stuff from. So we're used to it. And but you're not. And I completely understand that it sounds terrifying that you have to pay more, and how much is it? And it's just, it's hard to know exactly what this means and how much money it is. Anyway, I think it will go into effect on August 29th. So by August 20th, I will work out a discount code for my US customers so that we will meet somewhere in the middle. And I am willing to earn a little less, because if I do not have any American customers, ChemiJanet will close down. I have so many American customers that if I don't have you anymore, I will be out of business. So we have to meet somewhere in the middle. So I will make a little less, and I hope you will not pay more than what we know so far. But I will do my very best to research even more, and I will be sending out a newsletter to my US customers. So if you are from the United States and you want to make sure that you get the information about buying yarn from my store and also getting the discount code so that we break even, make sure that you are a newsletter subscriber. And the way you become a newsletter subscriber is that you go to my website and there'll be a pop-up and you just fill in your email. And I do not spam. I send newsletters once a week or once every 2 weeks, depending on the time of year and whatever I have. If I have something to say, I will send you a newsletter, and if not, I will not. Approximately once a week, you get a newsletter. So I just want to let you know that I'm researching, I'm educating myself on this, and I will do whatever I can to make this as easy for you as possible. And but we will have to see. But losing you is the worst nightmare, because then I go out of business. We can't have that. Is that all, guys? I think that's all for now. we had I can tell you a little bit about vacation. So we spent a week in Paris, just me and Lars and Nomi, because Esther was on holiday with her boyfriend and his family, also in the southern part of France. So we met down there, and she was camping, and we were staying in an apartment, and we hooked up, and we had so much fun in the southern part of France. It was lovely. We were very close to Nice and Cannes, and then we flew from Nice to Mallorca, and we had a week there in an apartment in a little town called Port de Soleil, which is it's the most idyllic little town in Mallorca. And then we came home, and then Lars and I celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary. And yes, it is a miracle that you can have been married for so long, when considering how young I am. I was 22 when we got married. 22. Like Nomi is 22. She just turned 22. It's crazy. Anyway, we had a party, and we had all our friends from our local area was there, and a lot of our friends from back in the days, friends from high school and family, and all our brothers and sisters were there, and I had a lot of wine, and we danced all night. And it was the best party, and I was so sad when it was over. I could have continued that party forever. We had so much fun. It was the best night ever. Yeah, and then Lars went back to work, and a few days ago I went to, we have a music festival here in Denmark called Smuk Fest, which means beautiful party, because it is just the location where they have this musical festival is just very beautiful in the middle of the woods. Or forest, I don't know what you say. And so under the trees, there will be little bars and street food. And there are 3 different places where they have music. And today, Shawn Mendes is playing. Last night, Will Smith was playing. 50 Cent was there. And of course, a lot of Danish stars. I was there Wednesday because I mainly wanted to watch or see Tobias Rahim, which is a Danish performer. He is my number 1. I'm going to his concert in Copenhagen next month. And I wanted to see Alpaca, which is another Danish amazing band. They're rather new, but they're really, really good. And saw Medina, Christopher, but they were just, they were just there. I didn't come to see them, but it was just fun. I had a good time. We had some beer, and we were dancing a little bit, and eating delicious food. There is so much good food there. I was really amazed by how beautiful that whole festival was. It was such great fun. And the girls are still there, so I have had a few days on my own, just me and Teddy, and I have really enjoyed that. I have been binge watching a show called Clarkson's Farm, which is this British guy. He's in his 60s. He's a British celebrity because he's done like these motor car shows that I have never seen called Top Gear. And I don't know if that's anything anything about that overseas, but here in Europe he's somewhat big of a celebrity, especially in the UK. But he has done this docu reality show about him trying to be a farmer, and it is it's just good fun and slow TV that I enjoyed very much. So I think now I'll go make myself a cup of coffee and find something sweet. I have such a sweet tooth today. And chill, watch an episode of Clarkson's Farm, knit a little on my sweater, and get this uploaded for you guys so that we're back in the game. Something very exciting is happening soon. Next month in September, I am going to Texas with Lars. He's going to go to Texas. He has been... not nominated. His company has given him an award. So we are going to Houston so he can get his award. And he was supposed to go last year, but then he got sick. He had cancer last fall, and we couldn't go. And we were so bummed because we're going to do so much great stuff. But we're doing the whole thing now. So we will start out with a few days in Miami visiting friends. Then we're going to go to Houston, do this whole gala thing with him having his award, and then we're gonna go to Fort Worth, I think it's called, and watch some rodeo stuff. And then on Sunday we had an NFL game in Houston, and Houston is not the Dallas Cowboys. Houston Texans is the local NFL team, right? And they are playing against Tennessee Titans, which is my favorite team. So it is just so excited. I can't wait. I will bring you with me if you are interested in a Cam Internet Goes to Texas vlog. We'll do that next month. But I will do a regular episode before Houston. Next weekend we go to the Fiberful Festival, and then the weekend after that there'll be another episode. I might change days for when this will air, but we'll have that chat another day. Thank you for watching, and I'm sorry for being a little out of mojo or or whatever that is called. I hope you know what I mean. Thank you for watching. Always, I'll see you soon. Take care, guys. Bye.